Welcome to the Rare Historical Memories channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one. American West, late 1800s. 6 outlaws hang lifeless against a wall as lawmen stand silent. A stark tableau of frontier justice that compressed violence, order, and spectacle into one unforgiving photograph. Mongolia, 1938. Queen Genevieve, last queen, was executed during Stalinist purges. Her brief reign survives in portraits, reportedly inspiring Queen Amidala's look, symbolizing heritage extinguished by 20th century repression. Soviet Union, March 27, 1968. Yuri Gagarin died during a MiG-15 UTI training flight with instructor Vladimir Seryogin near Novosolovo, an abrupt archival full stop to humanity's first voyager of space. China, late 1930s. Japanese soldiers stood outside a comfort station, a grim doorway into coercion and abuse that marked the Second Sino-Japanese War and its enduring human trauma. United States, 1928. 10-year-old Robert Pershing Wadlow posed beside adults, early evidence of the extraordinary growth that would make him history's tallest man. Gallipoli, 1915. British troops with motorcycles prepared on the beach during the Dardanelles campaign, machines and messengers extending mobility amid a grueling fight against terrain, trenches, and artillery. London, 1917. 4 women climbed ladders to clean windows during wartime shortages, civilian labor shifting roles, and proving courage and skill beyond battlefronts. Los Angeles, 1992. A National Guardsman escorted a surfer from Venice Beach amid riot deployments, California's sun-washed shoreline intersecting with curfews, protests, and uneasy attempts to restore order. Europe, 1940s. A bicycle ambulance threaded wartime streets, an ingenious answer to fuel shortages and rubble, carrying the wounded where engines stalled and roads broke. Congo, 1930. Explorer Attilio Gatti posed with 2 local guides and a gorilla, a layered image of expeditionary science, spectacle, and colonial gaze in Central Africa's photographed encounters. Hue, 1968. During the Tet Offensive, a U.S. Marine carried 2 children through shattered streets, a fleeting rescue that pierced urban combat's terror with an image of duty, mercy, and civilian survival. Russia, 1833-1914. Alexander Alexandrovich Pushkin, eldest son of the poet, guarded his father's manuscripts and legacy, a family custodian bridging romantic letters to the turbulent dawn of modern Russia. Moscow, April 11, 1908. Floodwaters turned boulevards into canals as boats ferried residents past the Kremlin silhouette, a surreal day when the imperial capital became a watery maze. Germany, 1927. Adolf Hitler wore Bavarian lederhosen for photographs, leveraging regional folk dress to project rootedness and tradition as the movement crafted imagery linking nationalism to Alpine identity. Dardanelles, 1915. The French battleship Bouvet sailed into mined waters and capsized within minutes, a grim symbol of naval risk during the Gallipoli campaign's unforgiving gamble. Germany, early 1920s. Hyperinflation gutted value so completely that families burned banknotes for heat. Paper money, cheaper than firewood, became fuel in a crisis that rewrote economic memory. Iwo Jima, March 2, 1945. 4th Division, Marines stormed ashore from landing craft black sand and gunfire marking another brutal step toward airfields that would bring bombers closer to Japan. London, July 17, 1930. De Keyser's Royal Hotel on New Bridge Street fell to demolition, clearing ground for Unilever House and closing a Victorian chapter in the city's commercial skyline. London, 1940. Smoke trails and engine roars tore the sky as RAF and Luftwaffe fighters dueled overhead, the Battle of Britain raging above rooftops and shelters. Oklahoma, 1893. Thousands of settlers thundered across the Cherokee Outlet during the Great Land Run, seizing parcels once promised to native nations, symbolizing expansion's promise built upon displacement and broken treaties. Florida, 1930s. Fisherman Forrest Walker hauled a giant manta ray, about 1,200 pounds, as John Hockmeister and Earl Baum looked on, an unforgettable catch reflecting both awe and the peril of coastal waters. Western Front, 1917. A German army dentist extracts a soldier's tooth in an improvised field clinic, one of countless moments revealing the crude endurance of wartime medicine. Belgium, 1916. German troops posed beside a mule fitted with a gas mask, illustrating how even animals were drawn into chemical warfare's grim adaptation during World War I. Cape Canaveral, 1961. Ham the astrochimp became the first chimpanzee launched into space, proving human survival systems and marking a pivotal step in NASA's race toward manned orbital flight. Kent, England, 1896. Walter Arnold was fined for driving 8 miles per hour through Paddock Wood, earning history's first speeding ticket and launching a new era of traffic law. Hiroshima, August 6, 1945. The first atomic bomb leveled the city in seconds, ending one war, beginning another, and reshaping humanity's understanding of destruction and survival. Britain, 1930s. A horse leaps over soldiers eating lunch during cavalry training, an eccentric image revealing discipline, danger, and the absurd vigor of pre-mechanized warfare. New Guinea, 1944. American troops prepared amphibious landings amid sweltering jungles, reflecting the Pacific Theater's brutal logistics and the island-hopping campaign's relentless momentum toward Japan. Germany, 1945. U.S. assault troops paddled across a river during the Rhineland campaign, pushing through fire and current in the last grueling advance toward Nazi collapse. Moscow, 1932. Churches stood with broken crosses, stark evidence of Soviet anti-religious campaigns reshaping Russia's spiritual map and cultural memory amid a revolutionary push toward atheism, industry, and centralized power. Normandy, June 6, 1944. Wounded Americans of the 16th Infantry waited near Omaha Beach for evacuation, a somber tableau measuring D-Day's price in shock, courage, and blood. Czechoslovakia, 1938. A Sudeten resident raised a Nazi salute after annexation under the Munich Agreement, an image mixing nationalism, coercion, and the foreboding calm before Europe's descent into war. Manhattan, 1903. The Times building rose over Longacre Square, soon renaming it Times Square, and anchoring a luminous crossroads of news, advertising, and New York's modern spectacle. Russia, October 17, 1888. The Imperial train derailed on the Kursk-Kharkov-Azov line. Tsar Alexander III and his family survived, feeding a legend of dynastic strength and providential luck. New York City, early 20th century. Blackfoot visitors at the McAlpin Hotel refused assigned rooms, choosing the open rooftop, asserting cultural identity within Manhattan's unfamiliar rules of modern hospitality. Herring packing, 1890. You see, workers filled barrel rows with silver fish, an archival glimpse of early seafood processing where speed, salt, and seasonal labor sustained coastal economies. New York, 1948. Berenice Abbott photographed a woman technician wiring an IBM computer, a rare view revealing women's essential, often overlooked labor in early computing history. New York, October 30th, 1929. A businessman tried to sell his car on the street after the crash, a snapshot of fortunes evaporating as the Great Depression began. Königsberg, 1944. Amid ruins, a Soviet veterinarian treated an injured hippo named Hans with vodka, a strange human footnote of wartime improvisation in a bombed-out zoo. Uelzen, April 1945. Its town square lay shattered during the Battle of the Rhine. Rebuilt from rubble, it now stands as quiet testament to Germany's recovery from war's final fire. Hiroshima, August 6, 1945. A single flash erased a city. 75,000 perished instantly, and generations since have remembered that silence as humanity's loudest cry for peace. Los Angeles, 1923. Walt and Roy Disney pose with their wives and mother on the day they opened Disney Studios, an unassuming start to what would become a global cultural empire. Geitsch, Germany, December 11, 1944. U.S. soldiers James Gregory and Omer Taylor shelter behind a Sherman tank, smoking calmly as enemy shells tear through the air around them. Ellingen, April 24, 1945. Rai. A U.S. soldier inspects stolen masterpieces hidden in a church, uncovering Nazi art plunder as Germany's collapsing regime revealed its looted spoils. Fort Moultrie, 1860s. Confederate troops used a furnace to heat iron cannonballs red-hot, hot shot, designed to ignite wooden ships and set enemy fortifications ablaze. Ella Harper, born 1870, known as the Camel Girl, gained fame for walking on all fours due to congenital knee deformity, turning a physical challenge into rare 19th century circus stardom. Pacific Ocean, July 30th, 1945. USS Indianapolis sank after delivering the atomic bomb, leaving hundreds adrift. Those rescued by Captain Cecil J. Doyle embodied endurance and sacrifice at sea. San Francisco, 1906. The earthquake and fire killed over 3,000 and caused $10 billion in damage. Amid the ruins, survivors wandered through ash where an entire city once stood. Early 1900s. It looked like a cannon but fired at flocks. The punt gun, used for duck hunting, reflected industrial-scale sport and humanity's relentless pursuit of dominance over nature. Paris, 1925, 1934. The Eiffel Tower blazed nightly with 200,000 bulbs spelling Citroën, transforming France's symbol into the world's largest billboard during a decade of industrial pride and modern spectacle. New York City, August 19, 1964. 3,000 construction workers of Chase Manhattan Bank gathered for a commemorative photograph, embodying grit, teamwork, and the post-war confidence of America's urban ascent. New York City, November 11, 1918. Armistice Day erupted in flags and cheers as crowds flooded streets, celebrating peace after years of slaughter and the dawn of a fragile new world. Bridgeport, Connecticut, January 10, 1946. A Sikorsky R-5 helicopter lifted 17 passengers and a pilot, setting a new record as amazed spectators waved toward aviation's future. Iwo Jima, 1945. U.S. Marines raised the flag atop Mount Suribachi, immortalized by Joe Rosenthal's lens, a defining image of sacrifice and victory in the Pacific War. London, 1930s. Famed tattooist George Burchett inked designs for aristocrats and sailors alike, transforming tattooing from fringe rebellion into a recognized art of modern self-expression. Germany, 1932. Former Sea Captain Emil Kulik unveiled a patented submersible powered by compressed air chambers, early innovation reflecting humanity's growing ambition to explore the ocean's hidden depths. Miami, April 11, 1966. 6-year-old Robin Arrington leaned gently on Martin Luther King Jr.'s shoulder during a press conference, a quiet image of innocence beside America's struggle for civil rights. Bolivia, October 9, 1967. Captured revolutionary Che Guevara stood before Bolivian soldiers and CIA agent Felix Rodriguez moments before execution, an image freezing defiance and the end of an era. Lapvatnet, Sweden. A 600-year-old medieval hat discovered in peat soil revealed Northern Europe's craftsmanship and the humble materials shaping daily life in the late Middle Ages. Between 1907 and 1913, photographer Roland W. Reed captured Native Americans with profound dignity, preserving vanishing traditions through staged yet respectful portraits blending artistry and ethnographic record. Tinian, 1944. Baiyi, a U.S. Marine knelt by barbed wire to hand food to a Japanese boy, a fleeting act of humanity amid the unforgiving brutality of the Pacific War. Atlantic City, 1927. Women modeled swimwear from 1875 to 1927, illustrating fashion's evolution from modest wool garments to freer styles reflecting modern identity and social change. 1914. Elephant-mounted troops marched through colonial territories, living relics of ancient warfare that lingered even as tanks and artillery redefined combat in the modern age. California, 1973. Gurgen Yanikian, a 77-year-old Armenian genocide survivor, was arrested after decades haunted by memory, his frail figure reflecting unresolved grief across generations. Moscow, 1934. A man paused to watch children playing in the street, their laughter echoing softly through the silence of a nation entering Stalin's tightening shadow. Atlantic City, 1960s. 4 elegant women pose for John W. Mosley's lens, capturing grace, confidence, and the rising pride of Black American culture during a changing decade. 1970s America. Hitchhiking became a rite of youth. A thumb raised, a backpack slung, and endless roads symbolize freedom, risk, and the restless search for meaning. Soviet Union, 1960s. EA, villagers queued patiently for bread, a daily ritual of scarcity that revealed quiet endurance and the resilience woven into rural socialist life. Soviet Union, 1942. A pilot carried a Fab-50 bomb toward his aircraft, image capturing both duty and the immense physical burden of total war. London, 1908. Wentworth Street bustled with traders and shoppers, market stalls overflowing with goods, reflecting working-class resilience and the vibrant multicultural heart of the East End.